most famous crowd in football salutes the match of the day. The Kop at Anfield. And the Kop rises to the Liverpool team as they come out. Liverpool third in the league table against West Ham in the match of the day. Liverpool unbeaten at home, and in fact they haven't lost to a London club at Anfield for 6 years. And West Ham, the visitors today, were the last London club to win here. But what an experience today for 20 years old Steve Peploe. Wearing number 8, playing his first league match of the season, in fact first league match ever, and coming in place of Roger Hunt, who's the substitute today. Born within a crowd shout of this Anfield ground, but who as a schoolboy always supported Everton. A check now on the Liverpool team, the side at full strength, and of course they include 2 members of the recent England squad to play Holland, Tommy Smith and Emlyn Hughes. Hughes, wearing number 6, this all-purpose Liverpool player who played at full-back for England and played so well against Holland. Number 4, of course, Tommy Smith, who had to miss travelling with the England squad to Holland because of injury, a knock on the left knee, but now fully recovered. A look now at the West Ham side. No Martin Peters in the team, a late change. He was rushed back to London last night because of the illness of his son, who's only just over a week old. 2 World Cup players, of course, in the team. The captain, Bobby Moore, and Geoff Hurst wearing number 10 today. Interesting player, number 11, Clyde Best, the Bermudan, who started his first season in English football so well. Bobby Moore, the West Ham captain, coming up for a toss that he's never ever won at Liverpool. He always calls tails, but Ron Yates has always been right, has always dropped heads, and of course Liverpool, if they win the toss, play towards the Kop in the second half. The referee, Mr. Lydon, Ron Yates, the Liverpool captain. So let's see what happens. And he's lost again. Bobby Moore explaining that he's still got it wrong. And the Liverpool gates this season top the $500,000 today. So it's West Ham to kick off. Martin Brooking in the middle. Number 10, Geoff Hurst. On the far side is Ronnie Boyce. West Ham, of course, haven't won a game away from home at all this season. Lying 14th in the league table. This is Bobby Graham now for Liverpool. Strong. Liverpool's problem in recent weeks is the fact that they've not been able to score goals after making a scintillating start to the season. How for West Ham? Yates. Heavy rain in Liverpool this morning. The pitch very, very greasy, and it's very windy out there too. The rain stopped about an hour before the kickoff. Peploe getting his first touch. And Moore. Lampard. Smith. Tommy Lawrence, and there's Tommy Smith. Hughes. Moore. St John getting in the way, but finally it's Billy Bonds now for West Ham. Best. Control the ball with his hand. The referee waving play on, quite rightly playing the advantage. St John. Good running there by Graham. Some really good running by the blind side by Graham, and the whistle's gone for a penalty. Or not. Offside. The West Ham players feared then, they were beginning to protest. But in fact, Graham, I think, was just a fraction offside. No score, 5 minutes gone. Lawler. Lampard. Smith. St. John. Hughes. Liverpool looking really positive. St. John. Peplow. Good goalkeeping. Hughes. Liverpool really driving forward. St. John. Graham. Yates. Boyce. Lampard. St. John. Yates. Howe. Callahan now for Liverpool. Ian Callahan mishit that, but as so often happens when a player mishits it, it caused the goalkeeper some trouble. Bobby Ferguson was just down a fraction earlier, expecting the shot to be really well hit, which it wasn't. Yates. Boyce. Thompson. Peplow made the ground well. Had a very cool start. Thompson. Look where Ferguson was then for that shot by Thompson. Outside the 6-yard box, giving him very little to shoot at. Play brought back. Billy Bonds took a knock. But of course, with these lightweight shin pads, when a player gets a knock on the shin, it's always, and I do mean always, very painful. Ron Greenwood, the West Ham manager, going off. That's Bob Paisley, the Liverpool trainer. But Ron Greenwood, of course, has had his problems this season. He won't want any more, especially with Martin Peters having had to go home last night. And Bonds off the field, we hope temporarily. Best. Boyce. Lampard. Yates. Smith. Lawler. Smith to Lawler. Graham. Smith. Beautiful ball, wasn't it? This is Callahan. Thompson. Thompson, a good two-footed player. Moore. Lampard. Oh, the goalkeeper might well have been in trouble then. Tommy Lawrence looked a little bit doubtful about that cross. He left it, and really I think it should have been his ball. It's the line-up in the goal mouth, and it's Redknapp with the corner. Lampard. Moore. Moore telegraphed that pass a bit. This is Stevenson. Boyce. Liverpool defence has come right out, but not far enough. Redknapp. Yates. Boyce. Hurst trying to worm his way through. This is Lampard. Frank Lampard, the fullback, up with the attack, in spite of the fact that West Ham still have only 10 men on the field. Lawrence with a kick. St. John, good flick. Moore. Best. Lampard. Smith. Hughes. Strong. Callahan. Peplow wide. Thompson, and the flag up for offside against Graham. Peter Thompson, the man in possession, was clearly onside, but Bobby Graham was just as clearly offside. And Billy Bonds back on the field. There's a fair amount of strapping on that right leg. Rather looks if he'll stay in defence. Ferguson with the kick. Lawler. St John, Smith. Echo. Lampard to ball. Brooking. Redknapp herring down the right wing. Being forced to check back and go again. Yates. Hughes. Strong. Smith. Liverpool very neat and controlled in the build-up, but they're not making the open attacking positions they need for goals. What a good piece of play by Thompson. Stevenson who got a touch. It's Callahan now. Hughes. Strong. Smith. Lawler. Liverpool in these opening minutes of this match promising so much. The build-up's good, they're finding each other extremely well. Lampard with a throw for West Ham. There's Lawler in the way to Callahan. Boyce to Hurst. Redknapp breaking. He's on his own. He's got Best in the middle. The defence herring to get back. Look at that line of defenders. Best. Best surprised to see the ball. He saw it very late as it streaked through the defence. Thompson. Hughes. St John. Callahan. And Emlyn Hughes, as he does so often, breaking for the back and looking for the ball coming back off the goalkeeper. Callahan had the shot. Lampard. Peplow with the throw. 20 minutes gone, no score. Callahan. Smith. The ball really flew off the wet ground. Redknapp. Really, Liverpool in this first 20 minutes have pretty well filled the pitch, but the best chance of the match has gone to West Ham. Graham. Thompson. Oh, he played more into trouble, and Callahan just couldn't control it. Hands. Billy Bonds, who hasn't had much to do since that knock, but he seems to be moving all right now. Boyce. Hughes to St John. Smith. Lawler. Peplow. Liverpool trying to probe this West Ham defence. They're all retreating in front of them, though. Bobby Moore finally coming out. St John. Brooking. One for Best to Jason. Again, he's just that fraction offside. Right in line with play of the linesman, and so was I too. It was a good decision, but Liverpool are living dangerously with this offside trap. Smith with the kick. It's Graham. Strong. Peplow. Bonds. Billy Bonds carrying the leg when he trots, but when he's in full flight, of course, and the excitement forgetting it a little bit. Thompson. Strong. Stevenson. Smith. Lawler. Yates. Thompson. Callahan. Howe. Strong. And Jeff Hurst is onside. Look where Lawrence is, halfway up the pitch. St. John. Hughes. Emlyn Hughes backing up, supporting this attack all the time. But the Liverpool defence, if they're not careful, are going to get caught through pushing forward too far. Redknapp. Where's the help? This is Tommy Smith. There was absolutely no one available for Redknapp to give that ball to. Thompson, who could create havoc. Lawler. Good running by Callahan. It was Howe. Smith. Callahan. Ferguson handling this slippery ball, which is rather like wet soap, very well. Strong. Smith. This Liverpool side, such a big team physically in defence, really powering forward all the time. Thompson to Graham. Hughes. And the defence just lining up and letting Liverpool play along the line. And Thompson trying to find way around on the outside. Stevenson. Strong to Lawler. Fight for that. Wonderfully good handling by Ferguson. Unfair jump by the forward, but Bobby Ferguson, as so many goalkeepers do when they play at Liverpool, inspired by this crowd, and he really is handling very well. Ferguson being forced to give his players a lot of time to get out of defence. They were all back there. Redknapp, Thompson. Strong. Pepler. Smith. Good challenging by Clyde Best. Not many players in the First Division would do that to Tommy Smith. Foul given quite rightly. But Clyde Best really brushed Tommy Smith aside. Be interested to see what these two do later on in this match. Smith, of course, one of the strong men of football, but Best really is too very powerful. Moore with the kick. Best got the touch. Another big kick by Lawrence was Howe. Boyce, Moore, Hurst, Moore, Hughes for Liverpool. The defence being refusing to be withdrawn. It's Thompson, and it was Bobby Howe who took it out. Bonds with two good legs would find Thompson difficult to hold. It's going to be Peter Thompson now at the corner. The two Liverpool fullbacks are up. That's Graham. Lawler. That's it. Thompson playing this corner to the near post, and Bobby Graham moves into position number 9 for the back header. Lawler came to him awkwardly, but took the time and met it right for the first goal. So Liverpool get the goal that their pressure really deserves. Boyce, Redknapp, this is Bonds, Stevenson, Bonds again. against Smith. This tackling battle between Best and Smith is going to be one of the highlights of this match. Smith doesn't like, I don't think, the way that Best dealt with him earlier when he really brushed him aside, quite fairly. It's a corner. Harry Redknapp taking up position on the near post for this corner by Clyde Best. Tommy Lawrence taking all the time he needs. Smith. Stevenson to Lampard. Hurst. Boyce. Moore. Brooking. Boyce. Hurst leaving it to Lampard. Hurst again. Boyce. The defence telescoping behind them. And finally a corner. Harry Redknapp to take it. 15 minutes left in the first half. It's Yates who got it away. Moore, Boyce, Bonds, Yates, Brooking being harried by St John. Good strong player though, Brooking. Redknapp. Lawrence wasn't able to get through to that and wasn't able to punch it properly either. He was off balance. Lampard, corner. The spectators in the Kop cascading down behind the goalmouth. That's the way the corner kicker sees the goalmouth, and it's Clyde Best with the kick. Hurst. Lampard. What a good job. Lawler was in the way. Lampard really drove that ball. It was still rising when it hit Lawler. Callahan. And since Liverpool scored, West Ham have been constantly on the attack. Graham. Hughes. Thompson. And two players quite rightly taking on Thompson there. Redknapp was the man who committed himself. Bonds was waiting for the ball pushed past. This is Hughes. Strong. Moore. Finally Brooking now to Redknapp. Trying to tempt Yates, but he's quite rightly holding off while the defence forms, and it's Lawler. Thompson. Graham's gone wide on the wing. Finally Hughes. Smith. Emlyn Hughes. Callahan. St John. Pepler. Good work by this youngster. Brooking. This is Redknapp. Bonds to Ferguson. It's Hurst for St John. Good jumping by Hurst. Graham. Hughes. Callahan. Did well to get the shot through. He was being driven inside too, but he hit it well with that left foot. Yates. And he took a ride. Yates, 6 feet 2.5 or 3, hardly needs to take a ride, but Geoff Hurst is such a good jumper. This is Brooking. Smith. Strong. Boyce was in the way, it's Moore now to Best. Redknapp. This West Ham side promises so much. Oh, Brooking got his toe to it. And the final kick was a foul. No, it wasn't, he's letting it go. Yates is the injured player. And it was Jeff Strong who put the ball out of play, quite rightly so, to let Bob Paisley, the trainer, on to have a look at Yates. Brooking the cause of the trouble. Yates, one of the biggest and strongest players in the First Division of the Football League, weighs over 13.5 stones. Graham. Hughes. Good running by Graham. And good play too by Stevenson, who's played so well in this West Ham defence. Alan Stevenson had a really good game. Thompson. Moore. Peplow. Moore. Boyce. Brooking. Redknapp. Bonds. Moore. This Lampard. Yates. Callahan to Peplow. St John. Callahan. Lawless. St John. Smith now to Callahan. And what an examination this is for the West Ham defence. Yates. Bonds. And back come Liverpool again. Hughes. The ground beat him. Just couldn't hold his footing. And that's the half-time whistle. A very, very interesting first half. And the goal that separates the two teams, scored by fullback Chris Lawler. The Kop crowd, as they always do, giving a special cheer to the opposition's goalkeeper. And certainly in the first half, Bobby Ferguson's had a good game and in no way responsible for the one that got through. The packed crowd behind him hoping, though, that in the second half, Liverpool may get the goals they threatened to do in the first half. They've had most of the pressure, but you've got to hand it to this West Ham defence. They've played so well. Liverpool been playing very square across the line of the defence, but in many ways being forced to do so. They're playing very few direct through balls. Bobby Graham waiting to kick off. Steve Peplow. Smith. Willie Bonds letting the ball go out. The news of Bonds is that he's got a grazed shin. It's not very serious, but it is a bit painful. Brooking now, it's Thompson. Hughes. Being rushed out of it, Bess to Brooking. Yates got a leg in. St John. That was Lampard. Those are the kind of balls that Liverpool need to play. St John's experience showing there as he tried to create a quick position with that through ball. Ball out with the attack once more. Smith being given a lot of time. Good ball. Thompson again forced inside, but he's got the space this time. That was Howe. And hands given against Hughes. Almost inevitable, really. He was unlucky. Redknapp. Graham. Graham looking to be pushed then by Bobby Howe. This is Thompson. Graham. That ball was bending back towards the post. Still about a yard wide, but he hit it so strongly. Swinging. Yates. Strong. Graham. Thompson. St John leaving it to Smith. Well, I thought Ferguson touched it, but the referee's given a goal kick. But it was a good shot by Smith. The crowd getting up to the referee. Liverpool in these opening minutes of the second half looking much more direct, allowing themselves more space, not giving the West Ham defence time to telescope and retreat. Best is offside. Boyce. Strong to Thompson. Thompson now has got the line that he wanted, but being forced back inside by Brooking, who was covering. Boyce for West Ham to Best. Boyce again. Moore. Yates. Boyce to Moore. Smith. St John. Liverpool looking for this quick build-up. Callaghan. West Ham defence racing back. It might all have taken too long. There's a lot of cover available now. It's Thompson. Thompson just can't get round the back of this defence, whatever he does. Liverpool's two fullbacks coming up for this. It's Thompson. He's going to come right back. Smith. Graham! Beautiful goal! Emlyn Hughes was there in support. And that was just a moment's lack of concentration by Ferguson. Having picked the ball up from that corner, he didn't look where he was clearing it. Straight to a Liverpool player, and just watch this beautifully flighted cross by Tommy Smith. Pinpointed, Hughes comes across the line in front of Graham, but Graham times the jump better. A really superb header. 2-0. 31 minutes of this match left. Thompson now for Liverpool. Graham. Peplow. And Howe for West Ham. Graham to Hughes. Strong in support. Redknapp. The crowd trying to attract the referee's attention to the fact that Peplow's lying on the ground. It's Moore. Boyce. Finally a corner. This gives the Liverpool trainer the chance to come on. Now, it wouldn't be at all surprised to see Liverpool bring their substitute on, Roger Hunt. Peplow, only 20 years of age, may be suffering in these conditions a little bit, and it would make total sense if Roger Hunt, who's scored so many valuable goals for them over the years, comes on, and he is doing. They're not even waiting to get Peplow on. Well, Roger Hunt came on in a sub in a match a couple of weeks ago and scored 2 goals in the last quarter of an hour. Member of the England World Cup squad, of course, played in the final in 1966. And young Steve Peplow deserves the special applause he gets from the crowd. Redknapp with the corner. Yates. Moore. Smith. Howe for West Ham. Moore. Bonds. Now in trouble, it's Graham to Hunt. Hunt's first touch. Where's the support? Thompson to Callaghan. Oh, and Liverpool had a real chance then. Callaghan wanted to make too sure. Graham, and the flag up for offside. Roger Hunt played that ball back well. Hughes to Callaghan, he's onside. Redknapp for West Ham. Smith. Injury time being played. Yates. St John. Redknapp. Brooking. Hurst breaking. It's only Best in support at the moment in the middle. Brooking getting up as well. It's Redknapp. He bent it. And he tried to as well. Referee acknowledges the signals now of the linesman. And a minute of injury time, and the whistle will go at any moment now. And that's it, 2 points for Liverpool, who've beaten West Ham United by 2 goals to 0. A goal scored by fullback Chris Lawler in the first half, and a splendid header by Bobby Graham in the second.
Well, tonight the whole of our programme is linked live from the Liverpool Football Club ground. Indeed, there's a party of players and their wives going on at the moment, and officials, and I'm talking to you from the trophy room, where there are trophies from all over the world, certainly from most countries in Europe and also from America. Liverpool today making just a small piece of television history for the second time in a way, because it was 5 years ago that we first televised the very first match of the day, which came from this ground when Liverpool beat Arsenal in August 1964, and of course today they become the first club to be televised on BBC One in colour. But now back to today's match and the views of some of the players. And first, the man who finished second in the Sports Night Commentators competition, talking about today's match, that's Liverpool's Ian St John.
Ian, after 3 games without the side scoring, it must be nice to get among the goals.
Yes, it makes a change. We had a bit of a bad spell in the last 3 matches, but we came back today and I thought we played well.
The side had a lot of possession today, but you tend to play a little bit across the field. Was this the way the West Ham defence was retreating, or just slow build-up?
I think probably they made us play a bit that way. Although we tend to play more across the pitch, you know, than most teams. You know, we have two wingers that a lot of teams don't have, so we're inclined to play to them, which means you play across.
I thought it was interesting the way West Ham tackled the problem of Peter Thompson. They kept forcing him inside, didn't they?
They did do it, and they kept Harry Redknapp back there, although the fullback had a bad leg, and I think the idea was to try and protect him a bit, bring that Redknapp back.
Well, now, the two goals for set pieces like a corner, which the first one came from, the two fullbacks came up, didn't they?
Yes, but the goal was actually a work goal. I mean, we have practiced this, and Bobby Graham went to the near post, got the flick on, and Chris done very well, breasted it down, you know, kept control, slammed it in. Good goal.
Well, now, moving on to the second goal, Ian, I thought that Ferguson, having cut it out well, then gave the ball away, didn't he?
He did do. It was rather silly, because if he'd held on to it, then we were all up in their box. He should have held on to it a bit and let their own players get up. But he slung it out, and Tommy Smith picked it up, and he put a great ball over to the far post, didn't he? And Bobby Graham headed it, and it was a great goal.
Actually, little Bobby Graham gets up very well to a ball, doesn't he?
He does do. He's small. He's only about 5'8", Bobby, but he's spring heels.
I've noticed whenever I come here, Ian, that goalkeepers always seem to play well against you. And although Bobby Ferguson was unfortunate in the end that he gave the ball away, that led to the second goal, he really did play well, didn't he?
He couldn't be faulted, really, on his performance today. He played really well, as most goalkeepers do. I think the Cop here inspires goalkeepers. You know, they get a big ovation when they come out, and I think it really inspires them.
And of course, in conditions like this, handling wasn't very easy.
No, it was a bit swirly today, wasn't it? And the ball was a bit greasy after the rain we had this morning. Made it difficult for the goalkeepers.
Well, now, just a general line about the situation at the top of the table. Liverpool still very much in touch. And I must say, when I saw you at the start of the season here, and I thought you were going to run away with the league.
Well, we did, actually. We had a great start. And then, you know what football's like. All of a sudden, we went off the boil. And we couldn't put our finger on it. We just went off the boil and fell away for a bit. But I feel that we could come back now that the grounds are coming again.
Well, back here with me live at Liverpool, I've got Bill Shankly, the Liverpool manager, and also Ron Yates. I know you must be almost spitting nails, in fact, when you look at the opposition Everton at the top of the table, Bill. But they really, as you said at lunchtime in Grandstand, deserve to be there, don't they?
Oh, they've played well. They've got the breaks, but when you play well, you make your own breaks.
How long is it since you actually mentioned Everton by name?
Every day.
This story is that you refuse to say Everton. That's not true, then?
No, I don't think so. You've got to speak about teams because they're in the same league as us.
Now, looking at the top of the table, Leeds, of course, the champions, are still there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, Leeds are always there. And they'll be difficult for everybody for seasons to come.
On your own side, you'd agree with Ian St John, of course. Now the grounds are getting heavier. You must be on the way back.
This is a possibility, because physically we're a strong side.
Now, just moving on to you, Ron. At the start of the match there, we saw that bit of byplay with Bobby Moore. In fact, it is true. He's never won the toss here, has he?
Well, I don't think so, you know, but I think he changed his mind today. I was told he always goes for the tails, and this time he went for the heads. And unfortunately, it came up tails. And I said to him, it's a waste of time tossing the coin anyway, Bobby, you know, because you'll be, you know, whenever you start.
What is this tradition, though, you have of playing towards the Cop in the second half? How did all this start?
Well, I think it's handed down from captain to captain, actually, you know. We like to play in there a second half. We're a strong team, and towards the end of the game, you know, we become stronger and stronger, and if we're kicking into the Cop, it gives us, you know, they seem to give us all the encouragement that we want if we're behind or if we're winning, you know.
I'm told, in fact, that quite apart from Bobby Moore losing regularly here, most opposing captains lose too.
Well, I couldn't tell that because they shout, you know, heads or tails. You know, I don't shout at home, and most of them have lost, in fact.
It's an old question, but both of you have been around here for a long time, and the Cop to me is something, you know, something else, really. Liverpool's home record, I think you've only lost one match, Bill, league match, in 2 seasons. And this crowd's got to take some credit for it.
Oh, yes, they're a fantastic crowd. There's no doubt about that. The combination of the team, of course, and the crowd, that's the crux.
Ron?
Well, I think they're a really great crowd, you know. They'll give you encouragement when it's wanted, and to me, you know, there's nothing like it in any other park.
Here you are, third in the league table, just on goal average behind Leeds. I noticed in the evening paper tonight, Bill, you have to live at a pretty high level here because you're being very heavily criticised about the way the side's playing, in letters.
Oh, I never read the local papers. That's why I sleep well at night. Yeah.
But in fact, the spectators obviously expect more than even third place in the table.
Oh yes, they've been used to getting higher than that. They've won the league a couple of times, and they've been second and third, and they don't like to be any lower than that.
Good. Well, thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Going to keep an eye on that toss too.
I will do.
Yes, indeed. Well, now from Liverpool, let's have a look at some rather intense and interesting attendance figures. Now, these are rather different because they tell you there the number of people who watched home and away matches. Manchester United is still the most watched club in the country, reached above the million mark today. Everton with nearly 900,000 in second place. Liverpool just behind Everton. What, about 15,000 behind, 16,000 behind. Derby County, newly promoted from the second division, they've had a really good season at home and away, and of course they play attractive football. And Spurs just behind them. Well, now we move on to our regional match, and that tonight is the game between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Arsenal, who have scored 9 goals in the last 2 games. Goalless first half. We join them at the start of the second. Commentator Kenneth Wolstenholme.
A goalless first half here at Molineux between Wolves and Arsenal. There's the Wolves team. Missing 3 stars, Munro, Dugan and O'Grady, who failed a fitness test. The Arsenal side, full strength. Team with 9 goals in 2 matches, the last 2 matches, and it's Wolves who start the second half. Now, many people will think, goalless first half. This doesn't give us much hope for the second half, but Arsenal have got 9 goals in the last 2 league matches, and 8 of them have been scored in the second half. So, everyone's saying Arsenal a second half team. We shall see. Certainly, not a great deal of fire in the first half. Samuels, Radford. Graham seems to have hit that one a wee bit too hard. It's not even Bob McNabb could reach it. Had a lot of rain in Wolverhampton this morning. The ground's very wet, it's cutting up a bit, but it's fine at the moment. Young Walker leaving it for McCalliog, and now a chance for Lutton. He scored, and the Arsenal defence completely and utterly open to the win. Two minutes of the second half gone, and Lutton has scored for Wolves. Watch for the deflection that really made the goal. The ball strikes Terry Neal. Watch it as it comes in. There's Terry Neal moving for it. It hits his foot, and the Arsenal defence now completely spread-eagled, and Lutton able to move in, pick his spot, take his time, and put Wolves into the lead 1-0. Lutton's first league goal, in fact, first goal for Wolves. Waxdown. Bailey. Lutton again. Another one. Hugh Curran's got that one. The referee looked at the linesman, so Arsenal have conceded 2 goals in 60 seconds. Well, this was from a long-awaited throw-in, but notice how Lutton was so quick off the mark, nipping in between 2 Arsenal defenders, and a lovely flick on the outside of his right foot, and a simple goal for Hugh Curran. Hugh Curran, there's the scorer. So after a rather dull first half, the second half which has opened sensationally. Graham for Arsenal. Wolverhampton picked up a wonderful point last week. The goalless draw at Liverpool. They've only conceded 1 goal in their last 4 matches. Now they've popped a couple inside 60 seconds against Arsenal. With a throw for Wolves. It's a beauty to McCallion. Well, the Arsenal defence looking a wee bit rickety. Graham to Armstrong. Graham again. Caught. Chance of a shot for him. Good goalkeeping by Parks. 6 yards out of his goal to narrow the angle for David Court. Now Wagstaff for Wolves. And Curran is offside. The flag's up. Referee took the signal from the light. Curran just offside. This time the free kick has been given against Radford. Free kick to Wolves. Radford and Holsgrove have had a fair old afternoon against each other. Calliard fouled by Simpson. And an Arsenal substitute coming on. Charlie George is coming on and Graham is coming off. George on for George Graham. And George Graham doesn't look all that happy about it, does he? Free kick for Wolves. Obviously, this has been a tactical switch by Arsenal. There's nothing wrong with George Graham. And is George in the game? Right at the start, gets a call. Robertson with the corner for Arsenal. Number 2, Story. Simpson into Samuels. He backs quite a shot if he can get it in. It's a beauty! A brilliant effort by Samuels. Well, that was the shot of the match from John Samuels. only 30 yards. Armstrong, Radford, and Lutton happy to give away a corner. Wolves are in, rails up. Armstrong to take the corner kick. Two defenders going for that instead of one. McCall, number 12, and Holsgrove, number 5, so it's another corner. Curran, back to Wagstaff. Just a minute left for play. George for Arsenal. George once again. A foul by Parkin on Robertson. Samuels to take the free kick, and George! Well, George headed that all right. It was an easy one for the goalkeeper to take. Can't seem to take his eye off the ball. Almost threw a goal away on the whistle, because there goes the whistle. Wolves have won by 2-0.
Well, now from the action to the pools news, and these are the details tonight. 11 score draws, there are 9 no-score draws, 27 home wins and 8 aways. And the pools promoters say that Telegram claims for 24 points are needed. The estimate is about £6,000 for a penny. Now, a few weeks ago, we gave you details of how we were cooperating with the Football League Review in staging a cop choir contest. More details about that in just a moment, but these are the entries so far. There are about 19. I think there are 8 there from the north, 8 from the south, and 3 from the Midlands. But you may be curious to know how all this is going to work. And here with me at the party in Liverpool tonight, Alan Hardacre. Sorry to bring you out of there. Now, how are you going to operate this, Alan?
Well, the idea is we want people to write to the Football League Review, Lytham St Anne's, register their name and their choir. We're going to send spies round listening to the various choirs, judging them. And I understand with your cooperation, we're going to pick about 6, have them filmed, and they will be judged which is the best one. And the idea is that the people who register will then qualify for prizes which we're hoping to make very attractive later on.
Right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing how you sort it out.
What we're looking for, actually, David, is originality and less obscenity, some good, clean fun. Perhaps a good one, a good song to start with would be Bill's song. I never read the local papers.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Well, just a quick look at the giant killers in the FA Cup today. 3 league clubs beaten by non-league clubs. Brentwood are through, Tamworth are through, and South Shields are through. And in fact, there are still 10 non-league clubs left in the competition, or 15 left, and 10 definitely through. Well, now look at the goal we enjoyed most today. And that was the second goal in the match of the day, scored after that wonderfully fighted ball by Tommy Smith and headed in by Bobby Graham.
It's going to come right back, Smith. Graham!
Wasn't bad, was it? Hope you enjoyed the programme tonight. See you next week. Till then, goodbye.